Solutions. What's going on? So, materia crafting guide. How about that? You want to know how to craft some materia? Let me explain how it works. First of all, let me just point out something real quick. We're going to head into the dungeons. We're going to head into the crisis dungeons. And we're going to check out the exchange. If you've already dove deep into these, which, as you can see, that I have not yet, but I did make a guide on how to do it loosely. I just have to power up my team. As some of you may know, I have not done any draws yet, so I'm just casually taking my time. Most of you are probably well beyond that because you're doing draws freely here and there. You got some better stuff. It's a little easier for you to blitz through some of this crap. So let's check out the Crisis Dungeon Exchange. You're going to be able to get some different materias in here. There's some pieces to craft different types of to add to your craft. When you're crafting materials, you can add these as a bonus material. When you're crafting, you can add up to 30 of these materials. 10 5-star, 10 4-star, and 10 3-star of each various type. If it takes day, it'll take, all day. And if it takes evening, it'll take all evening. This wasn't explained very well in the beta, but in this game now it shows you which materials you can use within each craft. But yeah, you can use 10 of each to boost the initial rarity of the craft. And I imagine you can boost it up to 5-star if you can get 10 of the 5-star materials. But as you can see here, they're not really in here, so that might be fairly difficult to do. But you can get 4 stars, you can get 3 stars. As well as when you're clearing these, you're going to get recipes to craft more materias than you'll see in my list. But let's head over to not the materia list. Well, that's the wrong one. Excuse me. Let's go over to synthesis. That's where we want to be. So as you can see, I have a Quake going. It's got another 2 hours here. Now, here's how time works. Say you craft, let's say you craft a Quake, and the initial time is 3 hours, and then you craft another Quake, and the initial time is 4 hours. That's not a very big differential, but obviously there's a difference, because one's taking longer, and it does matter. The timer absolutely does matter, and here's how it matters. When you craft a materia, it can have a substat. The 4 stats that it gets down at the bottom when you look at a materia. Substats. So there's up to 4, and it can come with 1 to 4 of them showing. So if it's a matter between 3 hours and 4 hours, the 4-hour one is going to have more of these substats pre-showing without having to level it. If it doesn't, you're going to have to level it to uncover what the substats are. And obviously that's worse than having the one that are showing potentially, but not. It does not necessarily, because you have to level it and you have to deal with more layers of RNG to unlock those other substats. So you could potentially waste some materials to level, but if you've got plenty of materials to do materia leveling and you can gamble, you can roll on the ones that have less substats and end up getting better materias in the long run than using one that comes with 4 substats showing, but the 4 substats showing are all flat stats or something crappy. Obviously, as in any game with RNG with the pieces of gear like this, you want the percentages over the flat stats. So, additionally, to just the substats, now, if you craft a Quake that's 3 or 4 hours, and you craft another one that's 24 hours or 15 hours or something like that, that means it's going to be way higher rarity in stars. Now, the times are different because some materials take longer to craft than others. Like a Cure, I forget what the base level Cure is, but I know it takes way longer than a Ruin materia if you're going to craft, like, say, one of these. So why don't I just actually go in here? I'll show you added materials, sorry. Too many words that have the same sound. There's just one extra letter. You know what I mean? So you go in here. This one's extra material is night. So if I were to add 8 of these, you can see it would go up to 3-star guaranteed. And if I add 10 of these, Do I not have 10 or can I not? Can be used up to 10 each. Okay, I don't know why that was weird. Okay, it looks like the cap for the basic rarity would be 3-star guaranteed with 3 substats showing. And it shows the time right here, 50 minutes. Okay? But keep in mind, that is still RNG. I don't want to use any of my extra materials right now. So let me just show you as an example. It starts 50-minute base. Let's cancel the adding of the extra materials. Let's just synthesize one, because it doesn't cost that much. And now, as you can see, it's only 30 minutes. So this one's probably not going to turn out that good. Why? I honestly can't tell you right now why it's less than it said. I was expecting it to actually be 50 minutes like it said. But like I said, some of these materials are really short comparatively to other ones. Like the Quake, I think this might only be like 1 or 2 or 3 star as well. It's probably 1 or 2 star because it was like 3 hours. But for example, a 15-hour cure turned out to be 3 stars. So in the beta, I made a 5-star cure, and that took well over 18 hours. I believe it was 24, but I had ended up using a bunch of items. Like, it was so much, I was so excited to get it. I used a bunch of the speed-up items, so I don't remember the exact time, but I believe it was well over, I believe it was over 18 hours, probably closer to 24. So just keep that in mind. If one has a really long timer, it's probably going to be good, and if it's just a few hours, just wait for it. Save your speed ups for if you ever see something close to 24 hours. That way you know you're gonna get something really good. But yeah, keep that in mind. With the added materials, you can boost the initial rarity. So just crafting it without the added materials, that 30-minute ruin is probably going to be a 1-star. If I had added the materials, you saw that I could have started at a 3-star. But there's also a chance for it to turn out as a 5-star. And you're more likely that the more added materials you use and the higher the initial, whatever it's called, the initial rarity. One other way to get the added materials is in the co-op shop. So keep that in mind as well. There's a bunch of these in here that you can purchase monthly. The blue ones, the 3-star, there is no limit, while the 4-star ones are monthly. And another important thing to note is that you can farm the event co-op and you still get these co-op medals. So make sure you're farming the event co-op anytime it's up, and then check out this shop, you know, before your coins are capped. And if you're inside the event itself, you can't access the shop from there directly. But if you go here, it'll show you how many coins you have for the other co-op shop right here. And then you can just hit the 3 lines up here and go to exchange. And then metal exchange. And also up here is your crisis medal. So you don't have to go into the crisis dungeon menu to get there. So, yeah, that is the Materia crafting guide. I hope that helps. Best of luck on getting 5 stars. Save up your added materials for later. Actually, I mean, like, you saw what I could have used in between 3-star and 4-star to make a 3-star with 3 substats. You can probably gamble that away anytime you have those. Definitely save the 5-star ones wherever they end up coming from. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, the game just came out. There's no need to rush into burning materials, just in case people come forward with some kind of information that's lucrative on something you want to go for first over other things. Because in all honesty, you know, I think it's, yeah, it's tough to really say. But, yeah, please like and subscribe, as always, for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content. I appreciate you all. I can't speak anymore, so I'm going to get out of here. Peace.